When you're in as good as a position as Pokemon is, business-wise, you kinda need to keep people interested, through one way or another. You can either hype the ever-loving shit out of your game and hope that carries you on your own, or you can put some actual time and effort into the new additions to your game. No company has done this more often than Nintendo, for the most part. And I don't think there's any game series in a better place than Pokemon. With the success of Pokemon Go, mostly, and Sun and Moon, plenty of people are either getting back into the series, coming back from a long hiatus and introduced to Generation 7, or longtime fans were given something new that pleased all of them. I was the second one. I mean, was X and Y really that good? No? Thought so. But Sun and Moon, oh ho ho ho, I love it. So what makes Pokemon so great? The characters, the story, all the great things you can eat? Well, all of the above. But mostly it's the characters, especially those adorable and sometimes deadly little creatures that we call pocket monsters. Some are cool, some are cute, some are world-ending beings that want to turn themselves into a volcano and blow up Mars, and some of them are gods. Didn't this used to be based off of catching bugs as a child? Can we go back to that? Regardless, there are 10 of these Ponymon that have caught my eye as being some of my favorites. Just a quick thing before we start. This is my opinion. If you want to disagree with me, go right ahead. Without further ado, sit down, grab your flame shields, and let's go. Putting a legendary Pokemon on a list about my favorite, or what I think are the best, Pokemon, is cheating. I mean, legendary Pokemon are technically the best. That's why there's only one of them, most of the time. And yet there are some legendary Pokemon that you almost need if you want to get into the competitive scene, such as the Primal Reversions and Mega Rayquaza. Oh no, I watched VGC of 2015. I think that's how that goes. But legendaries are always great on the competitive side of things, not to mention memes. Oh god, the memes. And yet we have another set of legendaries. Not one, but 4. Can 4 Pokemon share one spot? Well, they all do different things, but the premise is roughly the same. Besides, they kinda come in a package. You can't talk about one without mentioning the other 3. Each one covers something different, and they do it fairly well. Tapu Koko is almost always a good physical attacker. You can build him in a way that Koko is a mixed attacker, but with access to moves like Wild Charge, why would you want to? Throw a Life Orb on him and you'll take lots of recoil, but most things will be dead. Not to mention that Koko is a speedy demon, so he'll outspeed most things you throw at him. Tapu Bulu is the mixed attacker slash defender. With access to moves like Superpower, Wood Hammer, Mega Horn, and Horn Leech, you'll be getting some pretty serious health back with his ability Grassy Terrain, gaining back 1/16 of his health every turn that terrain is grassy. If you add leftovers and constant Horn Leech, you'll be gaining at least 1/4 of your HP every turn. I guess you could say that makes Bulu more of a tank than anything, but he does have a quadruple weakness to poison. Tapu Lele is the special attacker of the group, but doesn't really have lots of moves to back it up with base 130 special attack. It gets extra sensory, but also for specking psychic types gets that. Most things will outspeed it, but even if they don't, Lele isn't going to hit very hard. Having only 2 resistances and 1 immunity, it's not a lot Lele can do on the field. Sorry, still love you. Tapu Fini is the tank of the group, with base defense and special defense of 155 and 130 respectively, with lots of moves to back up her average attack and special. Moves like Hydro Pump, Aqua Ring, and Muddy Water all add to a well-balanced Pokemon with lots of resistances. Each Tapu provides something different that makes them unique, and that's why they're number 10. You know, Alola didn't just introduce new Pokemon for the region, they also brought back new forms of existing Pokemon that lost their touch, and weren't used that often. And they're awesome! You've got Raichu, who should have been Electric Fairy, but I'm glad with what we got. Then there's Sandslash, get the hell away from me, and oh, pretty. Hidden abilities are the best, no? Well, unless you're fan Rotom. But why is it that the best moves come from breeding? I don't have time for that shit, I got a job now. So, what's so good about Ninetails? Well, let's start with the move Aurora Veil. This move is like Reflect and Light Screen, but in one move. But here's the catch, it can only be used during hail. Have I mentioned Ninetails' hidden ability yet? Snow Warning. Huh. Okay. This thing is awesome! And pretty. With a great moveset and balanced stats, Ninetails is awesome, and I want to marry it. With Ice Fairy being a great defensive type to make up for its poor defenses, it has access to moves like Moonblast, Blizzard, and Extra Sensory. Ninetails also has great type coverage. Ninetails will always have a special place in my heart because I can never get one. Alright, we're done with the lowland forms now. We're going back in time to the 3rd generation. The 3rd generation of Pokemon always has a special place in my heart, as my first generation that I ever played. Specifically, Fire Red. I'm also doing a Let's Play on that, which you can click on here. But that's not to say Hoenn wasn't good. I just didn't get around to actually ever finishing it. I'd end up watching Chuck Conroy, and it doesn't seem that different from Fire Red. So I went back and enjoyed myself even more. Oh my god, what is that? Weaknesses can come from anywhere, like STDs. Is that gonna offend someone? Bronk Dark is arguably the worst defensive typing ever. 7 weaknesses? Jeez, I've seen better from my friends when they go to the strip club. Not to mention a 4 times weakness to fighting. Seriously, who thought this Pokemon would be a good idea? Oh wait, everyone that ever existed ever. Tyranitar is classified as a monster Pokemon, but I guess they were saving the term Ultra Beast for Generation 7. One of the 8 pseudo-legendary Pokemon, some of which might appear later on this list, I don't know. Tyranitar has fantastic defenses, which it kinda needs, but it also has massive attack, which it didn't need, but I love it. With access to moves like Stone Edge, Crunch, Dragon Claw, and Protect, for those competitive players out there, Tyranitar has great coverage if you know how to use him right. Swap him into a fighting attack and he'll almost certainly faint. But play your cards right and the opposing Mega Charizard won't know what to do with you. And I even got a shiny one. Speaking of Mega Charizard... You remember that amazing combo you can run with Charizard and any other Pokemon that can learn Earthquake? Well, Game Freak doesn't. I mean, Charizard X is cool and all, I mean, it even hovers, but you add a Dragon typing and give it Tough Claws and now you're playing with fire. But now you've got a weakness to one of the best moves in the entire game. Almost every Pokemon that is used competitively can learn Earthquake, making Charizard X not that good. It's more of a physical attacker than anything, and its speed, while good, isn't as good as, well, hello there, beautiful. I always knew Charizard could have Solar Beam and not suck with it. My Charizard knew Solar Beam back in the days of Fire Red and sucked balls, but now we have a special attack boost and Drought. Along with Focus Blast, Air Slash, and the like. I think I'm in love with this one. Not only does it look like the love child of normal Charizard and Mothra, but it can handle itself pretty well in battle. I mean, Charizard's great, but it's at number 7 for a reason. Maybe because of the next Pokemon. Have you noticed that there are a lot of Mega Evolutions? I mean, Z moves are cool and all, but I like Mega Evolutions more. It gives an added benefit to an otherwise not used Pokemon. But, let's face it, Absol's always been used, right from the start. Why are there so many cool Pokemon? I mean, we've already talked about Tyranitar, now we've got a Pokemon that is the literal embodiment of disaster, or so most people seem to think. So, what makes this disaster Red Bull-fueled Pokemon my number 6? The Red Bull disaster part. The fact that you can build Absol in many different ways allows so much versatility, mostly because of its secondary ability. Pressure? Pfft, we don't need less PP for the enemy. How about more crits, son? You might be saying, what? More crits? Well, who would need that if you don't have any moves that could take advantage of Night Slash, X Scissor, Psycho Cut? You give this thing a Scope Lens or a Razor Claw, and you'll have a 100% crit ratio. Or, you can give it a Mega Stone and get wings! Replacing Super Luck with Magic Bounce and removing the effects of some of the most used abilities in competitive play, like Intimidate. Have I mentioned the stat boost yet? Getting a massive boost to attack and speed to take advantage of that massive attack stat. Letting Absol tear through teams full of some of the bulkiest Pokemon. Absol's the tank buster of the Pokemon franchise, and rightly so. It's a disaster Pokemon for a reason, guys. You know, as I sit here, scrolling through my PC boxes looking for entries for this list, I came across one Pokemon so amazing that it could defeat any Pokemon in existence ever. Give or take a few. Prepare to fear my fridge. Did I tell you that I love to beat people over the head with a fridge? No? Well, I'm glad Nintendo allowed me to fulfill this in Pokemon games. Rotom is one of those Pokemon that you can build however the hell you want. With 6 different forms for you to choose from, rocking a full team of Rotoms is actually pretty fun. Trust me, I've done it. The moveset doesn't change with each form, but Rotom's moveset is potent enough to have several different combinations with each form. You can run a tanky substitute build with the Wash Rotom, you can rock a full damage build with Microwave Rotom, or you can go balls to the wall with speed on normal Rotom. That's what makes Rotom so amazing, except Fan Rotom, because fuck Fan Rotom and its stupid fucking ability. Why does it need Levitate when it's flying? The more I think about it, the more angry I get. Let's go over the different forms of Rotom. You have normal Rotom, who we've mentioned is a speedy motherfucker. Wash Rotom, who is extremely tanky with moves like Reflect and Substitute. Fridge Rotom, who is great for Blizzard and Thunder Spam with a wide lens. Microwave Rotom, who is a great damage dealer. Fan Rotom, who has an awful ability but has a decent typing to compensate. And Lawnmower Rotom, who we don't really talk about. He's just there. Don't worry about it. Who's my favorite? The Fridge, of course. Thunder and Blizzard Spam is great for dealing with lots of Pokemon that would otherwise give you trouble. Don't use Lawnmower Rotom, he cuts grass, that's where the Pokemon live. Oh yeah, time for a Pokemon that's so badass, it doesn't even need an introduction. Look at that sprite, just look at it. My Chandelier will fuck you up and you can't do shit about it. Higher special attack than fucking Alakazam! You don't want to mess with this? He'll send you right down to hell and hang you from the ceiling. Give it Flash Fire, and it makes a perfect swap in against Arcanine, Volcarona, Reshiram. Fucking any fire type ever will fall short of my Chandelier. Or you can have Shadow Tag on it, which makes any Pokemon trapped in your arena, forcing it to fight. Look how much of this type chart it crushes. Give any special move, and it'll 1v6 the entire enemy team. Don't believe me? Well, you shouldn't. Let's take a look at its moveset. What's this? Shadow Ball to make enemies weaker. Overheat to make it pretty much useless. Fucking Calm Mind and Will-O-Wisp. This thing's a better version of Spiritomb. What's Spiritomb do? Oh, it's only weak to Fairy types. Fairy types ain't got nothing on this monster. One Fire Blast, and all of them are dead. Have you figured out that I love this Pokemon yet? Look at its design. You're kicking the shit out of your opponents with a Chandelier. Look at its shiny form. This is one thing that I want. Give it. Oh, God. Well, yeah. That's Chandelier. Next. Alright, the final three. I'm sort of cheating with this number 3 here, but hey, I like legendary Pokemon. The embodiment of Dragon Pokemon. Is there any Dragon type more menacing than this? Being the only Pokemon in history, excluding event Pokemon because fuck those, to know Roar of Time, Dialga is a defensive tank. With a typing weak only to ground and fighting, most of which have physical moves, makes it seem like he doesn't really have any weaknesses. Let's take a look at his moveset, shall we? Dragon Claw, Flash Cannon, and Earth Power. Its signature move, Roar of Time, is a Dragon-type variant of Hyper Beam. Questions need asking if other Dragon types don't go down in one hit. What? You think Dragonite is the best Dragon type and can easily take out Dialga? Pfft, Ice Beam, dead. Haxorus, dead. Bring any other Dragon or Fairy type to the ring and Dialga will take all of them out. The one complaint I have with Dialga is it has a bit of a shallow move pool, but that's about it. Look at these stats. It doesn't make any sense that Dialga isn't used more. Also, can we hear those two themes that it has? Glorious. Way better than Palkia. I think that's one thing that we can all agree on. For a decent while, I thought about putting Mewtwo on here as a troll pick. The idea that, because Mewtwo was such a powerful Pokemon, he had to make it to at least one in the top 3. But Mewtwo has had his time in the spotlight. For me, I'd have to go back to Generation 6. As a generation, it was a very strong one. Lots of legendaries as well. This was the generation when they decided to throw in 17 billion legendary Pokemon. Haha, just kidding, there's only 3. Well, 4. You guys forgot about Greninja. Frankly, I don't see why Greninja has Protean as a hidden ability. It was just fine on its own with Torrent, but then you give it the ability that makes it so overpowered, it was the only starter that has ever been banned from competitive play. This Pokemon is so awesome that I don't think I can do it justice by myself. Just look at its design, and that name, and that idle pose. Look at its moveset and type coverage. And its signature move, Water Shuriken, allows it to go first at pretty much all the time. If you go up 1v1 against Greninja, you'll most certainly die. Look at how much of the type chart he crushes. You don't want to mess with Greninja. Number 1 was a hard one for me, but eventually it had to be the one that I've loved ever since it was on the box art for Pokemon Black. Still understand the naming system for those games, but here you go. Number 1 is Reshiram. There you go. I don't even think I need to explain. Thanks for watching. What? You want more? Okay, just think about this. Reshiram is a dragon fire type, meaning it's only weak to 2 types, rock and ground. Also, look at that booty. Let's just take a look at its signature move, Fusion Flare. They should just rename it Supernova because that's what it is. You think Fire Blast is a powerful fire move? You ain't seen shit. Reshiram dominates double battles because when Fusion Bolt and Fusion Flare are combined, they deal bonus damage. Do I even need to say more? Reshiram is the almighty fire-type Pokemon and the king of the 5th generation. If that doesn't sell you, just take another look at that booty.
Hey guys, before I finish this up, I'd just like to say that this took an assload of time to make, and that I'm really proud of it and how it turned out. So if you did enjoy it, a like would be massively appreciated. If you want to see more of this content in the future, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But thank you so much for checking out this countdown, and tell me what you thought of it down below. Thanks again, and see you later.